and my son came in third place. Both sides of the Philippines is the Pacific Ocean.
No, 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 it's not.
Is it? A fraud.
I was a fraud.
Two guys, two worlds. This is the flip side. New episodes uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesday and Saturday. Now, here's your host, Jason and Noel. That's what I said, you nincompoop. Good morning, good evening. You are my hero.
The cup that I bought for myself.
There you go. That's a signature right there. That's a staple. What's going on there? I heard that.
That's a billboard beside our house. Really windy here today. Really windy the past couple of months. It's still amihan. I thought it was habagat already. Oh, before we move on, by the way, I wanted to correct myself about that. I had to Google it. Oh, my name's Noel, by the way, here in the Philippines.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Jason.
So last episode that we had, we were talking, or I was, going through this rant about what amihan and habagat were, because I was boasting about what do you call this?
The weather.
The weather here and how everybody's must be so excited about it. So in the Philippines, amihan refers to the season dominated by the trade winds, which are experienced in the Philippines as cool northeast wind. So it's coming from the north.
So it's going inland.
It's going
just like
inland,
what you said,
and it's cool, right? But I was mistaken. I thought it was only for a couple of months, or maybe a quarter of the year, 3 months. Turns out it's 6 months. So the half of the year,
it's amihan.
It's amihan. So it should be a little cooler, but lately it has been unusually cooler.
Isn't it usually cooler where you are to begin with, or no?
No, not in Manila. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So and then I was trying to figure out the whole direction of it. And then the opposite of that, habagat, is southwest. Southwest. Yeah. So simply put, habagat. If you're looking at the Philippine map, habagat is from the Pacific Ocean going to China. Amihan is the other way around, coming from China, where it's a little cooler, going to the Pacific Ocean. Does that make any sense?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. I had to think about it for a little bit because both sides of the Philippines is the Pacific Ocean.
No, it's not. On the left side of the Philippines is not the Pacific. It's like China Sea or something like that.
Is it? I gotta Google this real quick. Hold on one second.
But so on the left side, it's China. On the right side, it's Pacific Ocean and Hawaii in the U.S. On the right side.
Oh, South China Sea. Okay.
Yeah. On the left side. Right. South China Sea on the left side.
No. South China Sea on the left side. You're right. And the Pacific on the right.
Yeah. So amihan is coming from China on the left side or the west side and going towards the east side or the right side.
So basically, amihan is cold air going in. Habagat is warm air going out. Is that right?
It tends to be warmer, yes. No,
okay.
Yeah, that's right. Tends to be warmer.
Okay. All right.
Good right. So, well, anyway, those are the two basically seasons in the Philippines.
Right.
Hot or cold, dry or wet.
Wet.
Yeah.
Or moist.
We've been experiencing really nice amihan here the past few months.
Before we move further, actually, if you could indulge me real quick, shout out to my son's high school, Broad Run High School. They had district championships for wrestling today. The whole family went to support and whatnot. The whole school did good, but it's an individual match, and my son came in third place.
Nice. That
Yeah,
is,
baby,
yeah, I was about to
wrestling.
joke and ask you if it's the WWE wrestling that we
I
used to watch
should
in.
have bought that. Man, that would have been awesome. I
Good,
should have done that. Like
but
you, because you could buy the belt. You know.
right, yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny
Oh
because
man.
the trademark of that wrestling style is the one where, like, on the second round, if I remember correctly, one is on top of the other, right? Before they
Yeah.
start the round,
Yeah.
holding on to the elbow, and then the other arm is holding on to the waist.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's the second round, right?
No, it's not necessarily the second round. It's more like from a neutral stance. It's either if you're the one at the bottom that's typically in defense, and if you're the one that have your hand around their waist, then
No, but what I mean is you start that position either you're
yes,
on the second round, not on the first round, because first round is you're
yeah,
both on your feet.
correct. Yeah, yeah, that's about right.
So I
But yeah,
remember that.
my
I missed.
son came in third place. Congratulations to Broadrun High School. It was a great day of wrestling. Um, my son and his friends, they're all wrestlers and whatnot. They're all pretty cool kids, good school, and congratulations to them.
What's the
Yay!
congratulations? What's the I'm curious, like the demographic, I guess, Asian demographic in their school, or at least the neighborhood
Oh
that you guys are
man,
in.
actually, surprisingly enough, I think in my son's wrestling team, I'd say a third is Asian. I'm not even kidding. If not half,
Is that a lot? That sounds like a
uh,
lot.
that's a lot. They have. I'd say 40% white, 40% Asian, and then 20% black. There's like one black kid in the team. I mean, it doesn't matter, but um, it seems like the demos for that school is like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So
I think just going back to our experiences when we were in school, did we have the same about, like, no, like, kind of felt like the whites or the Caucasians and the
no, it's
African American.
predominantly
No,
white
in our
people in our
no, no, no,
school.
in our school,
Yeah, predominantly white people.
in El Camino, in
Yeah,
Westboro. I'm not
even
sure.
in Westboro and El Camino, it was mainly white people, Caucasian.
That's funny.
At least,
My recollection was like the Caucasians and the African Americans were like the minorities. I felt like
no, no, no,
Asians
no.
were the really.
I
Maybe it
mean,
was just my
it might have
friends.
seemed that way because you mainly hung out with probably
Maybe,
Asian people. You know what I mean?
probably, yeah. Can't deny that.
Yeah,
Can't deny
yeah.
that.
I didn't have one specific group of friends in high school. I was literally the kid with a backpack that's chit chatting with a different group of people
Yeah,
during lunch period. You know how when you go to
yeah,
lunch, there's typically that group of friends
yeah.
that
You're like a butterfly going
yeah, that was definitely me. You
from
know,
one pot of plants to the other.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny recalling my high school experience with you. I kind of felt like it was like the normal world in high school, and then when I got out, that's when I felt kind of culture shock, where everybody on the streets was, Caucasian, white, or African American.
yeah.
It felt more normal in school for me because there were more Asians in there
Right, right.
than it did outside. So
Well, where we lived, it was predominantly Asian people at Daly City.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
There was a lot. It's like Little Manila.
But when I was kind of referring to getting out, like going to downtown San Francisco, where like that's where
Yeah.
the majority of the population was.
Hey,
But
do you remember that place called Ling Nam? It's like that Filipino. I don't know if it's a Filipino restaurant, but yeah, I think it is. Where
sounds
there's
sounds
noodles and breakfast food and whatnot. We actually ate there at one point. Like you, Ryan, and
Yeah,
whatever. I can't remember her name.
it sounds Chinese. You know, I gotta give it to Ryan. I still can't forget this thing that he said when we were sitting in his car, and he
Mm,
was like the only guy in our like group of friends that had a car, right? And
yeah,
remember that time we
yeah.
took like McDonald's for takeout or something, and then I was like,
The red truck that he had.
no, it was still like the small BMW I think that his dad had or what. So he
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. I
driving
remember
us
that.
around, and then I was so hungry. I was like, "Bro, can I eat here inside your car?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course you can eat. Just do whatever you want to do inside this car. Just don't pick your nose." So it's like,
Did he really say that?
yeah, because no, I didn't want the car to smell like McDonald's. You know, I didn't want it to smell like food, and wanted to make
Right,
sure, being the Asian guy that I am, I wanted to be, you know, uh, considerate of other people's property.
right, right.
And I didn't want to open and eat there. I remember I was sitting at the back of the car, but it was like, just don't, pick your nose and flick it on the back of the seat, I was
I
like,
don't remember him saying something like that. I
I don't know.
know he said something about when we were, when we'd fart, basically.
What was that
You
about?
know, no, like
And
because
of
I
course he
know
had to
how.
of course he had to say these things just when I was about to eat, or just whenever we were eating.
Right,
But what
right.
was the one about the fart?
No, I know he was just saying stuff about like, okay, if you're gonna fart, I'm gonna lock the windows,
Yeah, that's
stuff
right.
like that.
That's right.
But going back to what I was saying, that Ling Nam place is
Mm.
actually still open.
Oh no. Nice.
Yeah,
It sounds Chinese though.
yeah, it because when you walk in, there's like that big glass window where there's also ducks hanging in the window and
Mm,
all
mm,
that crap.
mm, mm, mm.
But they serve breakfast food like tapsilog, longsilog,
Mm.
tapalog, or whatever. All of it. They serve Filipino food.
I just googled it now. Their Facebook page came up. Lingnam Restaurant, Daly City, California. After 2 years of hiatus, Lingnam brings its silog and adobo back to Daly City.
Yeah. Well, I guess it open again. Yeah.
Nice.
Is it still located at the same place at Gellert?
Uh, yeah, it says King Drive Plaza. That's on Gellert, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Gellert
Yeah.
is on King Drive, right?
No, that's cross intersection.
Okay. Did they move like across the street?
No.
I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me see the
I don't know.
directions.
But no, they're in a new location now.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not in the same place. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the
Anyway.
map also right now.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still open. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like there used to be that round table pizza down the street from Lingnam. I don't know if you remember that.
No. Oh shoot! Wait, Lingnam is on the classic bowling center now.
Oh no shit. Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's where it says King Drive. That's
King
why.
Drive, that is where Classic Bowl is.
Right. So it's all the way at the opposite end of. It's not even
Gellert.
on Gellert anymore. So if you're
Yeah.
saying that they were on Gellert before, which I don't really remember, they
Down
moved
the
up.
hill.
This is up the hill where it's closer to my house actually.
No, you didn't live off King Drive. You lived at the other side of my block.
I lived on Callan. Callan Corner King Drive. King Drive is on Classic Bowling Center, which is across from my house before.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, maybe we moved. We moved to a different house. Our first
Yeah,
house
you moved
was
to the. I never went. I never been to that house that you're talking
no,
about on King Drive.
no. That was like in sixth grade when we lived
Okay.
there. But
All right.
anyway, so point is, if you're looking for Lingnam now, it's at the top of the hill, which is at the
By the
corner
bowling alley.
of Callan and King Drive, on the
Correct.
bowling alley, classic bowling center. Which I also have a participation trophy, by the way, but it's not here with me.
For
Not
what? For bowling?
That's right.
No kidding. Yeah.
Just like I just want to compare it with you and your bodybuilding trophy that you have there on your desk.
Yeah.
You still
Hey,
have it with you right now?
if you can't show it, it doesn't exist.
I'll show you one of these days. But is it with you, your trophy
For what?
for bodybuilding?
Come on, man. It's on my desk all the time. It never leaves my desk. All the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got to
Never.
remember
I
what
never
your
knew you bowled.
accomplishments were. Yeah, yeah. I got quite addicted to it.
Yeah, so did I actually. I got
Got
pretty good at it.
well, pretty good is another term, but I just really got addicted to it. It was literally across the street from where we live.
Right, right.
And then for me to get cheaper games, I had to join the league, which I wasn't really interested in winning or losing. I just wanted to get free
Cheaper
games.
game. Yeah, yeah. I remember that. Same
and
thing.
I joined, and then at the end of the league, they gave us free. They gave us trophies. And I was like, "Wow, thanks." And it was funny.
Man, I used to get in so much trouble at that bowling alley. At Classic.
Hold on, bro. They gave me that participation trophy without me even winning or losing. It was just for joining. Can you imagine that? I mean, I didn't even join a competition, so I didn't even win
Just
or
for
lose.
being there.
Just for being there. Crazy,
What?
right? Right. I mean,
Well,
usually
come to
people
think of it,
they give no the normal thing to do, which what I've experienced here in the Philippines. If I join like a workshop or something, they'll give me like a workshop certificate, a piece of paper. But this
Right.
participation trophy that I'm talking about was a trophy exactly like what you have right now. It had a stand, it had a statue, it had a little sculpture, and then it said
Right.
Classic Bowling Alley Bowling.
so it's literally just for being there.
Just literally for joining the league. And now segueing into violence, I think in Classic Bowling Alley, I remember like Googling, that neighborhood that I used to live in before, and those were the kind of
Yeah.
stuff that popped up, like how much, like it's like all in the news. Like some guy just comes up and shoots people, or there's a stabbing or something like that. Were you part of that scene?
Well, I was always running already. I
Those-
used to sell a shitload of pot over there. It's not even funny. I mean, I would be the guy with the backpack and a bunch of like dime sack bags.
Are you not incriminating yourself for mentioning that?
No, man. How are they gonna know? What are they gonna do? Do they have proof? Can they show it?
Even if like the fact that you're saying that you used to sell.
Hey, he said, she said, right? Did I actually do it or did I not? I don't
Okay,
know.
so you did it.
But my point is,
Were you exposed to the violence,
I seen it.
or
Yes.
to the mess
saw.
because of what you were selling?
No. It's just random. I mean, I've seen so many people get jumped there. It's not even funny.
That is the one place where I got so much secondhand smoke. It's not even kidding. It's
Yeah,
not even
yeah.
funny.
No, it's not. I used to smoke a lot of it. That's where I started drinking. I had my first drink right on the backside of Classic Bowling. Man, I used to hang out there all the time. Love that place.
Bro, before we start segueing into other things, there was something that I wanted to bring up with you a while ago about your kids in wrestling, and I was kind of talking about, being around the Asians and all that. And
The Asians, really?
well,
Okay, all right.
no, it kind of all just like it's carrying a lot of weight in my head because I've been thinking all week about what your friends say, and it's not the first time that I've heard it. I mean, even on the vlogs that I've been doing on my personal channel,
What do you mean? Like what my friends say?
yeah, here, this is what I was about to say, that how they would suggest, and these are Filipinos here in the Philippines would suggest quite naturally,
Yes.
like Uy, magtagalog ka naman. You know, marunong ka naman magtagalog. There's we need more Tagalog on your vlog basically, or on your podcast is what your
Right.
friends say.
Right.
But which is not exactly the topic, or we could talk about that too if you want to, if you wanted to address it or have a couple of thoughts on it still. But what's really sort of bothering me was that I visited my son yesterday. Again, mother and I are separated, so my son is about 40 kilometers, an hour and a half away. I see him once a week, which is totally not enough. Feel like a failure for being a father like that. But another failure that's on my mind is that when he grew up, and house was all stressful and everything, for some reason we'd forget about the fact we'd forget to speak Tagalog to him, so he never really learned, or he hasn't really. We're
What?
trying
What
now.
do you mean? She doesn't know how to speak Tagalog at all?
Barely understands, barely. But we're trying. We're the mother and I are both trying to teach him now. But when I'm there, it's not enough, obviously, and I'm speaking to him like 95% of the time in English, because that's just natural on how we talk. So I don't
Yeah,
know. I kind
but
of wanted to get your
that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the
I
case.
wanted to get your 2 cents on it, because you mentioned before. I don't know if it was on recording or on air, or it was off air with me, that you wanted to, move here, or at least visit here for a long time, or stay here for a long time, not just by
Right.
yourself but with the family. And I was
Right.
thinking, bro, if you're thinking of doing that, although it's not a bad thing, and I mean they're not gonna get beaten up or anything, but just the whole society integration thing, is that an issue at all for you? Is that a cause for concern? I mean, there
Well,
are
it, it,
foreigners that
it
come here that
definitely
learn how to
it
speak Tagalog.
yeah, it definitely is a concern, I mean, if I'm gonna go home, my wife and I can get by. I speak Tagalog, my wife speaks Tagalog, although it's not like a daily occurrence for us. I
Right.
mean, she speaks more Tagalog than I do. Nagtatagalog din ako, pero
Yeah.
mas madali pag mag-English sa akin, di ba?
Okay, pero the question is about your kids. I mean, how do you feel about your
Right, I'm
kids?
getting there. When For my kids, it's definitely going to be a struggle. Obviously, the good thing is almost everybody in the Philippines understands English, right? So the person that's going to be, or the people that's going to have to make a lot of drastic changes, are the people that's going to be going into the country and moving there. In this case, my kids. So they would have to do everything they could to adapt properly. Hey, that is small.
Yeah, this is my French press, by the way, and I wanted to tell you that it's Filipino size.
What? It's so skinny.
Yeah. Look, my cup is practically bigger than my French
I
press.
know. I kind of noticed that. That's really one cup, one cup.
Sorry, I was looking for a pen and paper to write on. But
No, you're fine.
what were you saying about English here? So is it an issue, or what's
I don't
your
think so. I mean, I think the issue is going to be for my kids to properly communicate with the people there.
well, yeah, because while you were saying that, I realized that the issue is not about moving here to the Philippines and then knowing how or not speaking Filipino or not. I realized that's not the one that really affected me. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. I'm also trying to figure out what the real issue is with me. So as I'm talking about it with you, I come to realize that the issue really is I'm kind of self-conscious about our podcast, or what we're doing now, that we are speaking in English, and that we claim that it's the flip side, because we're both Filipinos living in two different sides of the world, and we're trying to listen to the flip side of the story or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see. I actually thought about that as well. So my old classmate that was mentioning something like that was this girl named, I guess her nickname is Weng, Weng, right? So she pointed it out that we should be speaking a little bit more Tagalog, have it integrated more into the show. But I agree with her. But at the same time, uh, it doesn't matter if we obviously live in both sides of the world. We're both Filipino, and I think it's okay if we're speaking in English more often than Tagalog. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
just easier for us.
I think maybe the issue is, and with all due respect to Wang and the rest of the people that might be listening,
Right.
maybe that's what they're comfortable with. And because for us, we're doing it because this is what we're comfortable with. I mean, we could be speaking in Vietnamese or Chinese for all I care. But the fact that we're
Right. That's true.
Filipino, you're on the other side of the world, I'm here.
Right.
We could still call it the flip side, and we still claim that we're both Filipino, and we're talking about Philippine stuff, which we're not like boxing ourselves up to begin with. Like we could be talking about any other stuff. We just thought
Right.
about flip side because we're on the other
Flip
ends of the
side of the
world,
world.
and flip just sounds a shortcut for
Yeah.
Filipino, and
I
it's
mean,
I hope it's not a bad word, but point is, I think come to think of it, maybe that whole uy magtagalog naman kayo, or speak more Tagalog,
maybe it
it's
is
it's to
coming
cater
from a point where it's easier for them. Does that
it's
make
to,
sense?
to cater to the listeners,
Yeah.
which maybe flips back to the question is like, what are the listeners that we're catering to? I mean, are we okay? I guess this is a real question. Are we okay to turn off? Oh, and a funny thing here, by the way, if there were 14, 15, let's say 20 radio stations here in the Philippines that are FM, all the
Right.
AM radio stations, I think, are like 99% Tagalog.
Tagalog.
But at least here in Metro Manila. But if there are 15, 20 FM radio stations, maybe there are 4, 5 in Tagalog, and then the rest are in English.
Well, that's the thing there. I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I guess where the country is so immune to English, it's a second language. You know
And
that
then
everybody practically understands it. It's not like you can go to the deep side of the country and people still understand you when you speak English.
yeah,
The problem,
No,
the
no, no.
problem there is the actual communication. Now, that's it.
Right. No, but I think what my issue is about being able to cater to or be kind to the audience for what they want or what they need to hear. Another point of consideration: the networks here in the Philippines. I'm sure you don't know this. The networks here in the Philippines, back like in the 80s and 90s, or early 90s, were pretty much. I think it's safe to say that they were all in English, and then back in the late 90s, 2000s, they all switched to Tagalog. And then a couple of years ago, there was CNN Philippines that came in, and then it was just all pure
English.
English, and then they also
Right.
came up, and then the other networks also came up with their parang English version of their networks.
Oh,
So parang, if I understand it, there's like ABS-CBN has like ANC,
Huh.
which is all English. So it's funny because you see they'd be broadcasting on two different news shows, right? On one, they'd be speaking in straight Tagalog, and then on the flip side, on the flip show, on the other show that they're on, they'd be broadcasting the same news but in English. Isn't that interesting?
I
Isn't
can't
that
help but
interesting?
wonder after hearing you talk about that and whatnot. I can't help but wonder: are we Filipino enough?
I was thinking that if we should title this podcast like "Finding Filipinos" or "Finding our," jumping off from Culases, becoming Filipino,
Becoming Filipino?
because he's trying to look for or he's becoming Filipino or finding his Filipino spirit.
He's
Are,
becoming Filipino.
are
Maybe
we?
we should find our Filipino side.
Yeah, yeah. So
maybe we need to change our title and figure it out. You know?
it has been coming a lot of thought. I mean, I've been thinking about it a lot lately in the sense that, how much do we be true to ourselves, and then how much do we try to speak more Tagalog? But I was thinking, man, I don't want to speak Tagalog to Jason. Number one, because he can speak English pretty well. And then number two, I don't really get to speak English to people every day, all the time here anymore. Like most of my friends.
And it wouldn't work out properly for us because it's harder for me to speak in Tagalog straight.
You could practice. You could say that you could practice.
Time out.
Are you being bothered by the noise there?
Yeah, my daughter's like really pretty loud.
That's fine.
Okay.
You can click on there's a mute button on your screen. So I don't know if we're getting down to any conclusion here. I'm just saying that I'm aware of it. I've been thinking about it, but maybe just out of being lazy. And then
it has nothing to do with being lazy. I resent that 110%. It has nothing to do with being lazy. It's about people who are just a little bit more comfortable with doing things differently. In this case, the way we talk. It's easier for me and I'm more comfortable to speak in English as opposed to Tagalog. Does that make me less of a Filipino? Yes. Do I now feel like an actual ass and feel like a less of a Filipino? Yeah, I'd say so.
But let's talk about Weng for a second, and the rest of your friends that are saying that we should speak more Tagalog. Here's the thing, and I don't want to start a fight here or kind of enemies, but are we insulting them for speaking in English? Are we acting like we're any way better than them? Like nagyayabang ba tayo na pa-English speaking in dollars tayo? Ano bang...
That's a good question.
And
should I dare ask her?
I bring this up. No. I mean, syempre, I just like to talk about your friends without them being here. No, yeah, I don't know if we could guess them or what. But I wonder what people think in a sense na. And in a way that it affects me because aside from being self-conscious about it, are we insulting because we do know how to speak Tagalog, so mag-Tagalog kayo? And like you're not like above, nangingibabaw ba kayo kasi marunong kayong mag-English? So English yung it's a question. I'm not
see, now I'm questioning it too. Does it seem like we're being a bunch of snobs or
right? That's what I mean. Are we being a bunch of snobs? See, I gotta compliment you for that, man. You have a way of simplifying the stuff that I'm saying sometimes, and I appreciate that because
it's just the way I am.
Thanks, I feel like I'm constipated, and then you just have a way of
I just push it out,
letting it out, right?
Just easily push it out,
right? You're like
I just checked on Facebook, and Wang looks like she's available online. I could ask her if she's willing to come on board and ask.
Maybe on the next episode. I'm not ready for confrontation just yet. But I just wanted to discuss this with you. Like, tayo lang. See, maybe that's the thing. That's what I was thinking pala about my vlogs. Which is the reason why I stopped like vlogging myself, by the way, because parang I got self-conscious about it. Like, here's a Filipino living in the Philippines, marunong naman mag-Tagalog, pa English pa siya. So I kind of shut myself up. But I realized, aside from the fact that I shouldn't let that affect me, I was thinking that I could just speak in English because that's what I'm comfortable with. And then when the opportunity arises, that's what makes us an ass, by the way, I realize. If the one that I'm speaking with is speaking in Tagalog, dapat mag-Tagalog ka. Dapat mag-Tagalog ako. That's what makes you an ass. If you can adjust to it, if you can speak Tagalog,
And then you don't?
and then you act like you don't, or if I act like I don't, which I never do, by the way. So I don't think I fall in that category. But I think that's the only way, or that's how I'm going to make myself into an ass by.
Well, no, not necessarily as well. No, like you said, yes. If you pretend like you don't know, like the way I was for the first time with my wife, then yeah, that makes me a complete ass, and it makes you a complete ass. You know what I mean? But again, it boils down to your comfortability. If you're more comfortable speaking it that way, hey, by all means, right? As long as the other person can properly have that communication with you, as opposed to, you know.
And I guess this has been sort of brewing in the back of my mind the past couple of weeks, because I mentioned to you that I've been watching Colas and Commander Daot, and I think that's what's getting my attention, in the sense that they're speaking to me in English on their videos, but they do speak Bisaya or a little bit of Tagalog to the people that they mingle with, the Filipinos that they mingle with on 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 their videos. So
Right.
in other words, this is my solution, which is what I gather from those vloggers, is na pag ang kumakausap sa iyo Tagalog o Bisaya, Tagalogin mo o Bisayain mo kung kaya mo. But I mean, speak to them accordingly, or adjust your language accordingly. But if you're speaking
Right.
to your audience, it's up to you. Like, audience meaning to camera. It's up to you whatever you want to, whatever language you want to speak. But I guess it comes down to, the guest or the person that you're speaking with beside you. That's just my little conclusion on that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, it is a little bit. I guess it does kind of come down and look like we're being snobs, in a way.
but as on that light, for being snobs to your friends and Weng, pasensya na, this is what we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if you really want to be an asshole about it, there are other podcasts that you can listen to. Pero that's not what I mean, Weng, ha? But
Joke lang.
bato-bato sa langit.
I don't even know what that is. No, sasabihin ko ito. So, mas madali lang kasi talaga. Hi.
Pero hindi ba nakaka-insulto? Yun siguro yun.
You know tanong. And that's what I wanted to ask Wayne. That's why when I checked online, it looked like she was online, but I don't know if she hasn't really replied to my messages. I asked her, like, I mean, I messaged her. I wanted to ask you a quick question.
You want to just text her about it or chat with her about it? Or did you want
I'm trying to.
Did you want
Is
to put
the whole speaking in English an insult, or is it
a turn off? That's what I'm curious about.
a turn off for the listeners? Let's see what. So I asked her, is the whole speaking in English an insult, or is it a turn off for the listeners?
It was funny. One of the first things that I remember experiencing moving back here in the Philippines, after I moved back like in 96, 97,
Yeah.
my new friends would always 100% ask me if I eat rice. It wasn't even funny. It was almost
I
insulting.
think that's a whole Asian thing, though.
Yeah, pero it's
So
like,
does that mean you eat rice? Well, yeah, motherfucker, we're Asian.
no, like as in, the offer me food, pero kumakain ka ba ng kanin? It's like, syempre, Pilipino naman ako.
Ano ka tanga?
I don't know if they were trying to be funny or if they were trying to be insulting. Sometimes these jokes just fly over my head, and
Right.
so I don't
Well,
know. But
That
that's just what I admire so much about these foreigners. Again, Daot and Kulas. how they are so like gung ho about there being foreigners here in the Philippines, like it's rock and roll. But for me, I'm still going through that identity crisis about speaking English
Come
versus.
on, that's you with your elitist attitude. You know, thinking like you're above everybody else.
And
Oh,
that's our show for today. Catch you next
listen,
next
we're,
time.
we're gonna take a quick break because we just got a response from Wing.
Ooh, let's find out what she
Oh,
says on the next segment of.
on the next segment, we'll be right back. Oh, we're back. Um, so Wang actually just replied to me, and I guess she's talking about like more like convenience for the listeners over there
Mm,
to understand.
mm. That's the
You
reason
know,
why these networks switched to Tagalog a few years back, like in the early 2000 or late
yeah,
90s, was for them to, because there's more people that used to listen to AM stations because people were speaking in Tagalog on AM stations. So for TV stations to get their, audience,
right.
more Filipinos would watch and listen to Tagalog-oriented shows.
Well, from what she says over here, she said for you to reach wider market, okay ang English pero since may Pinoy listeners and you want to appeal to your Pinoy listeners, tama lang na mag-Tagalog ka until nakakatuwa sa amin yun. Oh, it's I guess it's to kind of hear us like sound like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. It's for their listening pleasure. So it's our uncomfortability for the sake of their listening pleasure. They want you to speak in Tagalog para matuwa naman
Yeah,
sila, para nakakatawa naman.
yun nga sabi niya na gusto namin yung argument mo na kaya ka nagtatagalog is because that is who you are. What? I don't get it.
Do you
But
think
apparently she's a little busy right now.
do you
She's
think
going
you're more
what?
yourself or a different version of yourself pag nagtatagalog ka versus when you're speaking in English?
Okay. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Hold that question. She just commented on Facebook.
Oh,
Tell Noel mag-smile palagi. So serious. Lakas makatanda.
thank you. Tell her that we're recording right now and that we've been talking about her for the past 15 minutes.
That's what I told her actually.
And that she really affected us with her speak more Tagalog comment
So,
about it. So, but I know that it's a big thing because naapektuhan. I'm sure they're not going through this in China or Korea or any other Southeast Asian country.
well, no kidding.
It's not a
I
big
mean,
deal because for here it's a if the Philippines is actually an English, quote unquote, English capably
it's a
speaking
English
country,
speaking country,
and it
so to
becomes
speak.
kind of an issue because you can speak both. But there, in those other Asian countries, for sure they're having a hard time speaking English. So it's not really an issue. It, you know you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's not an issue because
she's she's definitely saying to tell you you need to smile more. You're too serious.
sige po. Okay po.
Amen.
Tama
Salamat.
tama po. Opo.
Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtitiwala.
Yeah, so those are just my, thoughts about it, and So I
Yeah.
didn't mean to sort of drag it on there, but yeah. Anyway, going back to the beginning of this conversation, congratulations to your son who won third place on his wrestling match.
Like 10 years later.
That's where it all kind of started. Um, no, because my son, not that he gets teased. Actually, the kids don't really make a big deal out of it. But I just watch him play with the street kids sometimes, and he could barely catch. Sometimes he can't catch up to what's going on because he's again because of my failure as a father for not being able to teach him Tagalog.
Yeah.
He's
And our
being
listener just, sorry, our
please.
listener just commented about your cute butas na t-shirt.
Ah, what did they say?
They just said, um, cute kaya yung butas na t-shirt.
Now you know which one. Yeah, just wanted
Yeah.
to show that I was comfortable. Hey, speaking of my mug a while ago, you are my hero, Dad. Um, look at my shirt. Be a superhero for the planet.
Oh, did you buy that for yourself too?
Bro, could you believe that I ended up joining those guys like in the middle of the mall where they were offering you like credit cards and like blah 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 payments?
Yeah.
No, this wasn't for credit cards. This was donate and save the whales or donate and save the animals.
Were you one of those people to
I
save the
was.
world,
I
save the
was
planet?
until I realized that it was really a money making. You
But
know that
yeah.
I'm not even going to mention it, but you know that these guys, it's not that they're not actually the way I understood it. And then again, this is from bro science and just from the street that I live in. They're not even the ones doing the work. They're just managing the money. You know what this means, though, right?
The WWF,
Yeah. Do you know what it
World
means?
Wildlife Fund.
Right. So my boss at that time was saying, "See, World Wildlife Fund. It's about the fund. It's about the finances. We're taking care of the finances. We're
Right.
not taking care of the wildlife."
No, it's literally just handling the disbursement of money.
So I was like, "Okay, I'm out." I lasted for like a month and a half.
Like
I
they,
just
I think they're the one that sued the WWE because you remember the WWE
oh
was WWF,
for
World
the
Wrestling
name,
Federation.
for the name, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
that's intellectual property because of the name.
yeah, but you're gonna sue them like 20 years later? Give me a break. I
Right.
mean,
Everybody knows what it meant, and but did they win the case
they did. That's why they changed it to WWE,
for
World
money? Did
Wrestling Entertainment.
but did WWF win the case and get money off of it?
Oh, I don't know. I think they didn't. They just did a cease and desist, I think.
Oh,
I'm not
because
sure.
it would have been funny if they did earn money off of it, and which drives my point exactly that
Yeah,
they're all about the funds, not the wildlife.
that's pretty it's pretty sad, What?
What about your week, man? We've been talking about what's been bothering me the whole half of the recording. What's going on your end of the world?
Not a whole lot really. I mean, it's been a stressful week at work, um relaxing week at home. Uh Nothing exciting. Now, I've kind of been dealing with a personal, I guess, dilemma, you know.
Hold that thought while you're segueing into it and trying to decide whether you want to talk about that or not. This guy has been in pain or in psychological and hormonal hell the past couple of weeks because
He's been humping everybody.
the three female dogs outside of the house are in heat all at the same
Oh
time, and this is
man.
the only male that's available, and he's like
Yeah. Is he a Shih Tzu?
a mix of Askal and Shih Tzu, I think.
Oh, okay. We have
So
because he looks like our dog Peanut, who's a Shih Tzu.
So he has not been eating for 2 almost 3 days, and he has been whining and griping about wanting to go outside to hump the dogs outside that are in heat. And
You gotta get him neutered.
I was googling it yesterday. The only way to do it is to really just keep him away from them,
Yeah.
locking him up if you have to, and just wait on roughly about 18 days, and it'll go away. So it's not like the
Ah,
menstrual. It's not menstrual cycle, which I was trying to explain to my girlfriend the other day. It's not about the menstrual cycle of the female dogs. They actually secrete like hormones to like attract these male dogs that they
right,
can't
right.
like. They're so crazy about it that the guy wouldn't even eat, and he's been wanting to go outside of the house. And it's funny when we arrive from like at the end of the day, we come home and like, hey, we're home, and he doesn't even run to me when he's outside of the house. He goes straight for the three female dogs. It's like we don't even exist anymore.
How old is he anyway?
Gosh, he's about 6, 7 already. He's
Oh,
my
okay.
mom had him in Baguio for a long time before we asked if we could take him down here.
Oh, that's good. So you basically adopted him.
Yeah, because he was just like locked up in the kitchen like 24/7. My mom didn't couldn't
Let
have the
them out.
time or day. Yeah, he's
Right.
out, but just out to pee, but not enough.
Not enough interaction or movements.
Interaction. Yeah, or to nobody like petting him or anything like that.
Right, right.
So what's been bothering you? Is it too personal to talk about?
No, 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 not really. It's I've been feeling lethargic and then feeling fat, dude.
Because
It's
we've been
insane.
recording past midnight at your time, and you've been yawning half of our podcasts.
Well, no, I just feel so out of shape. It's ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's gotten to a point where walking up 3 flights of stairs sometimes gives me like the heebie jeebies already. I'm like catching my breath. It's
Let me
insane.
let me try to make you even feel worse than you already do. Back in high school, between you and me, you were more athletic than I was. Although I was
Yes.
pretty athletic. I
Yes.
was I was into martial arts, basketball, soccer, blah blah blah. But I was just doing
Right.
it as a hobby. You were doing it as a passion. Were you part of any of the school teams?
Basketball.
You were part of the basketball team,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you
It was like, but still, yeah, you come on, dude. Why do you have to do that? That was like 30 years ago. It's
exactly
not the
right.
same. Yeah. Although I'd say in my up to my early 30s, that was my Filipino Tourette's.
Uh,
Up to my early 30s, I was pretty svelte, man. I was pretty built still. And then the drinking got worse. Man, when you get old, sometimes you just want to drink, 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 and then eat.
So the next question is: you want to talk about it? Do you want to drink about it, or do you want to do something about it? What's your plan?
I don't know. I mean,
Because
honestly, we got a pretty decent equipment in the garage where there's a treadmill, there's
listen,
weights.
reason I bring it up is because I actually feel the same way, and I was wondering if you wanted to do like a weekly challenge with me.
Or what are we gonna do?
I'm
Lose
already,
weight? Like
yeah, I'm already like regretting it as I'm saying it as it's coming out of my mouth. But yeah, no, I've been feeling the same way, and I've been, I figured like a workout buddy would help because if you're just like, oh, I'm trying to go against myself, it's like fuck that. You could
I
just
don't
win.
I don't I don't have that kind of motivation. I don't. Not motivation, but self discipline. When it comes to like working out, I used to. I used to go to the gym religiously,
Because you're doing it for
and
the wrong reasons.
yeah. But now I'm just my gut. I can't stop eating. I love my food. I love my sandwiches. I love my pasta. My wife cook. You know, I blame it all on my wife, actually, in regards to that. Because before I met my wife, I kid you not, rarely ate pork. You know what I mean?
Was that a conscious?
I ate a lot of vegetables, a lot of fish, chicken. I barely ate beef.
Was that a
And then my
conscious
wife started
decision,
cooking.
or because you
Huh?
were broke?
No, it was just consciously doing it, not because for any particular reason.
You were
You
health
know?
conscious.
No, not really. It was just natural.
Not part
You
of the
know, like
thing.
I
Yeah.
prefer seafood as opposed to meat. And
Okay.
then my wife started cooking corned beef and then longanise, and then she makes these um, pork adobo.
Mm.
And it's just pork adobo, but she cooks it in a pressure cooker that makes
Mm.
the meat so tender. Oh my god, I cannot stop eating. You know what? It got to a point where I thought I was gonna go to hell because I killed like 3 cups of rice just by myself with adobo. I felt so shameful. It's not even funny. And it's maybe like one bowl of like adobo and 3 cups of rice. Can you believe that? I felt like I was gonna explode. And then I'm all enjoying it. And then later on, baby, my stomach hurts so bad. Right. Yeah.
You know what? It adds to the charm of adobo is the fact that it doesn't spoil easily.
It's even better after a day. I don't know what it is. After a day or two, it's 10 times better. 10 times better.
Yeah.
And then
Like
even eating it with cold rice. Oh, come on.
it's like it
I don't know what it is.
marinates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my wife learned how to cook um pancit bihon.
Oh.
The way she makes it. Oh my god. I'm not even kidding you. I was one of those guys that would get up purposely, wake up at 1:30 in the morning to go down to the kitchen to eat after having it for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already stuffing my face in dinner. Then I gotta wake up at 1:30 in the morning, go downstairs, eat some more. It's pretty bad. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, I think we should do this challenge thing. What do you think? Every week.
Think about it for a second. I'm about to send you and sorry, I hope you don't mind me doing this while we're doing the chat, but I got distracted with my own ADHD thoughts again. But I want
What
to
is
get your
this?
reaction to this screenshot of a video that I just I it's a screenshot of a video that I have here, and I'm trying to see here if you can remember what I'm talking about. I'm standing here, for those of you guys are, of course, just listening, and we don't have our screen sharing thing here.
Hold on. Is that Phil or is
Uh,
that Ryan?
right. So I'm sending him a screenshot of a video that I made back in 1994, 5, or 6. And the only thing
Us playing basketball?
that's right. Remember me videoing you guys, taking a video of you guys while you guys were playing basketball one time?
This is near my house. This was at Phil's driveway.
I wanted to get your reaction to it.
Wow. That's Phil. That's
Yeah.
Phil standing right there on the left. I know that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the one with the ball.
That's right. That's right.
Is it really me?
That's right. That's right.
No shit.
I just feel bad that I don't have enough I guess I don't have enough shots of you, but yeah. I was I only put in like lots of shots of of the basketball, but not of yourself. Here's a shot of yourself.
Wow, that's awesome.
some screenshots. You and I didn't make a lot of videos together. It was like me and Anthony and the other guys. When it
That's
we
me.
we hung out for basketball and sports, but
Yeah,
not for videos. You weren't considered as one of my video making friends.
not until later.
Hardly at all, actually. You were mostly extra because I needed somebody to like play basketball,
Yeah, yeah.
or I
But
wanted to.
I think that whole video thing really started when you helped us do those English projects.
Yeah, were you my classmate in English?
No, no,
English
no, no.
classmate. Why did I make that video? I just got you as an extra, or
No, you knew because you were helping out Ryan as well,
yeah.
and then that's when we started hooking up in regards to that.
So, lesson in this little discussion about making videos and playing basketball, folks. If you just stick to it, don't give up so soon. I was just, I just, I just gave up too soon.
Is this an actual video?
Yeah, those are just screenshots. The reason why I couldn't share it with you is I don't know where I uploaded it, and then if I do upload it, it's about 2 hours long. So I'll cut up the part that just has you in it for me to share. Because I don't know if the rest of the videos here are.
I mean, I want to see those old videos, man. Those things are awesome.
They don't have you in it.
No, I mean, what about those old English videos that we took? You know, like the Salem witch project that we did, and then the newscast that we did in my garage.
Right. I don't know.
Where they are.
It's like vague in my head where it is. Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's all like sort of mixed up. I haven't
what
really
were we
sat
saying?
down to watch all of these videos yet. Sorry, I got distracted about that. No, I was basically asking you how your week was and what has been bothering you or what has. Oh, did you bring up the personal thing that you brought up? Did we ever get the chance to talk about that?
Yeah, the weight,
Right.
my weight.
Oh yeah, your weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Should we do a weekly challenge?
right. So I had yeah. So the question is it the same challenge? Is it the same parameters for you and for me? We're not doing the same number of push-ups because obviously you're on a different level, and then I'm on a different
I'm
level.
fatter.
Where's the
I'm about 150 pounds, yo.
Oh, so am I. Maybe 160. But what's the challenge is the question. What I'm just trying to get at is we could do like a
It's all about the weight loss. We
weekly
gotta lose the weight.
update or weekly report. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to maintain the weight. But I
Why?
also because I like my weight. I'm on the right weight.
So it's turning the mass into muscles, basically. Let's do that.
For me, it's just not being sedentary and lethargic also. I also feel
Right.
I mean even if I have the right size, weight, I know what's the weight to height ratio.
Yeah.
I'm on the correct weight to height ratio. I'm just not moving and sleeping too much.
Well, that's because you work late or you work early, and then God knows what you do at night. So
Yeah, so whatever. So for me, if my parameters would be just to do something every day, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes minimum.
that's hard to do, though. It's not really hard to do, but in regards to like a weekly challenge thing, it's tough. It's tough. Like, look, I have a double chin now. It's pretty bad. I'm
So
fat.
what's your challenge? What I'm saying is we can use this podcast as a sort of
I want to lose this.
an
I need to lose
accountability
this.
partner. what I
How is that going to work out?
no, because what I learned from, let me just throw this at you. What I learned from, James Clear and his Atomic Habits book, and basically listening to him and his podcasts that he guests in. Um, it's not about the goal that you are. I hope I'm not butchering this, but it's about the systems that you set for yourself into reaching that goal. So, in other words, the system would be
Yeah,
for
we are not in that level. Not even close.
no. But for us, instead of us talking about, oh, how much weight did you lose this week, it's about how many times did you work out this week.
Yeah, but how are we going to gauge that? I mean, really, we're going to have to be 100% honest about it.
Well, that's part of the whole thing. I'll be honest with you.
All right.
I mean, but if you ask. But that's the thing. I was thinking like we could make it as part of the podcast in the sense that like every week, yeah, maybe I'll do this with or without you. Every week, starting today, maybe tomorrow. Uh,
Good start. Good start.
maybe tomorrow. It's Sunday today. I'll start on a Monday.
It's God's day. We sit and do nothing today.
Starting tomorrow, there's this 30-day challenge app that I have, and I can set it up to like easy mode, like really bare beginner easy mode, like
Right.
three push-ups, 2 squats. It's that kind of easy mode, and you're
That's
done
a bit too easy.
and you're done in like, and I could barely do it. I could barely do it. Something always comes up like, oh, I'm too tired. I didn't get enough sleep. And at the end of the day, I was just really lazy.
That's what it boils down to. Just laziness. I mean,
So
I'm guilty of it.
So there. So I have this 30-day challenge app. You could use it. You could use something else if you want to. But the point is, it's an everyday thing. Because for me, if I only do it twice a week, like
It's not going to work out.
it's
It
not
has to
gonna.
be every day.
It has to be part of my routine or morning
Right.
routine or afternoon routine.
I think I need to try that too, though. I mean,
But even if like something as simple as walk the dog every day is something that I like to preach, but I haven't been doing myself.
well, even just walking the dog is not really strenuous enough for you to actually gain some kind of exercise. Just walking the dog.
But that's good enough. That's part of the whole system thing. I mean, it's not about how hard you worked out. It's the fact that you actually did 1 or 2 push-ups, or that
Okay.
you
All right.
walked the dog. That's it. That's for me. I'm just talking about my criteria for my standards for
That's your definition of it and
like
whatnot.
yeah for me, because for me the goal is to not feel lethargic, right? It's not
Right.
to get all jacked up and buff. So for me to start feeling less lethargic and feeling healthy, I gotta start with 5-10 minutes of walking the dog.
You got to
Ser-
start somewhere.
yeah, and do that for a couple of weeks, couple of months, and then I move up to the next level, maybe walk the dog and then do a couple of push-ups.
Right.
And then 2-3 months after that, walk the dog, do a little push up, and run. You know what I mean? So it's the whole it's the whole lifestyle. There, that's the word. It's a lifestyle that I'm trying to get back into.
Yeah.
And I say back into, which makes me feel guilty because I used to do this all the time before, back when I was, in my teens, not even in my 20s. I started losing it in my 20s.
What do you mean?
I stopped working out. Stopped getting. It wasn't part of my
It just wasn't working out for you?
lifestyle anymore. It stopped when I moved back.
You know, that's the thing there. I mean, on the flip side of things, coming from here to there, you gotta admit, working out is not really that big of a thing over there.
Right.
Here, it's a whole lifestyle. You know, man, my wife, at one point or the other, was diehard workout gym going girl, you know, to a point where she actually got way, way, way in better shape than I ever did, you know. And then it was part of our life. It's like it's an actual lifestyle in your daily routine. But when you go to the Philippines, is it really though? Because
I'm sure there's a
pretty,
community. I'm sure there's a community. I'm sure
yeah,
there is a. I'm just not exposed to those people enough. Can you believe I used to host triathlons, fun runs, and
just
I felt so
host.
ashamed of myself because I'd be on the microphone and be talking about personal records. Make sure that you hydrate while you're running. There are free aid stations. Get water. Get Gatorade. Whatever it is that you need to drink, and then
You're just there.
and I felt so much respect for this. There's this Iron Man host. I forget his name.
Who?
I think it's I forget his name. It's a catchy name. Anyway, so much respect because he used to be an athlete, a triathlete for sure. And
American?
yeah, and he goes around the world hosting these Ironman, like on the ground hosting, not hosting on the TV as a TV commentator. He's actually on the ground under the
Right.
sun, announcing for these guys on the ground. So it was so inspiring to watch him work. Inspiring to the point that I thought I might get into like some kind of sports also, so that I know my stuff when I'm on the microphone. Never actually got around to it, but that was my whole thing. Like he knew what he was talking about because he really used to be an athlete.
Right.
Me,
But you're just whatever.
I was just saying my things because it was scripted to me. Like somebody wrote it down and I was just reading it out. And I just kind of got used to the whole
Oh,
spiel.
a fraud.
I was a fraud. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I was
That's
doing it for free. Most of it was like unpaid stuff because I was doing it with friends. And so, like, well, he's not an athlete and he's a fraud, but he's willing to do it for free. So there
why
he
not?
is.
Yeah.
Right. But, that ran out of gas and it just died out. But it's still eating me up in a sense that I still, even in this body that looks like I don't have a gut, I feel like a
Right.
fraud because I am not working for it. So I feel like now that I'm 44, I'm on my bonus, almost on my bonus years or last chance to start to catch up. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, imagine. I mean, I feel the exact same way. To be honest with you, I mean, my gut is just bad now, dude. It's like I kid you not, from a 6 pack to like one giant blob.
was it the rice? What was it? Your wife's adobo?
It's the eating anything really. I mean, I stopped moving around as much as I used to,
Do you drink a
and
lot?
then, huh?
Do you drink a lot?
I used to, yeah. That's when it all went
Yeah.
away. The drinking, the eating. I fell in love with pasta, sandwiches. Oh man! And then next thing you know, my stomach got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's
So
crazy.
let's make these smart goals. They need to be specific, measurable, etc., etc. But for me, those are the two most important things. You want to do it?
Yeah, I need to lose my gut. I got to get back into shape.
So every
Every
week
every
we'll
Saturday.
make like a little report on each other. And it's not even to one up each other. I'm sure it'll work just by
Yeah.
the mere fact that we're going to try to guilt trip each other into
I mean, you know, it's going to end up being that way, right?
but who
Like,
cares?
who cares? Yeah, but it's all right. Who cares? Fitness challenge? Question mark.
I'm curious about what your parameters are. For me, again, 10 minutes. So specific 10 minutes a day walking the dog. We're trying to talk about like the weekly fitness challenge.
I'm going to start with we're gonna start with sit-ups, push-ups, and I don't know, something else. I'll figure it out.
Are you gonna do the everyday thing, MWF?
I think I'm gonna do it every day.
Okay, so
I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna go down to the garage,
I'm
walk
thinking
in
I'll
the
start.
treadmill as well.
I'm thinking I'll start next week. Kidding. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what your routine is, what your whole workout plan or schedule is. I think for me, what's important is did you do it or not,
Yeah,
which is
and you
for
just
me
need to
what
be honest with it.
my criteria is. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Or maybe we should start slow. Maybe we should start once a week first.
That's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna start, and then I'll mark everything what I do on a daily basis.
So you're gonna go cold turkey, hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, not hardcore, but I
Is it
gotta
on?
do something.
It's
I gotta
on.
do something. Huh?
It's on.
It's on.
It's on. Here's the question though: do we have like a consequence? Do we put money on the table?
No, not yet.
Or do we put a headset on the table? What's the?
I don't know. Let me think about that. I don't want to go there yet.
Let's do this. I'm the one scheduled to edit for the rest of this month, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we're doing like a 30-day challenge. What if? And I'm already regretting thinking twice about this one, but I'm already hesitating. But I was going to suggest that whoever loses or doesn't perform and let's give it a minimum. Let's not go with 100%. I'll go with.
Okay.
I'm happy with like 70%.
Okay.
That if we don't reach the minimum of 70%, or whoever loses,
we'll edit the rest of the month.
we'll edit that month, yeah. Or upload, or do everything that needs to be done for the podcast so that it goes live.
Well, I've been doing that this past month already.
I'm taking the next month. So after this month, I'm going to have my own experience on it. So that's going to be a month.
So March.
Yeah, so we're going to be both 1 month, right? You had your 1 month, and I'll have my 1 month.
Okay. And then
So
March is the bet.
Yeah, so March is the bet. The third month is the deciding factor on
Correct.
who's going to take the next month.
Okay, because March is supposed to be my month. So
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
realize what you're putting yourself into, right? Don't take backs. Don't take backs.
I need something to motivate myself, man.
All right, we're good to go. Let's go. Let's rock this.
And then if none of the episodes come out in March, y'all know why.
It's because everybody gained another 20 pounds.
Yeah, because the adobo's good, baby.
Yeah, I gotta tell my wife to stop cooking. I think it's not the cooking though. It's just the control. Man, I'm addicted to
Because the food
rice
is always
and-
there.
Yeah, well,
Should we complain because we're blessed to have food available on the table?
okay, you don't have to make it all drastic and guilt-ridden all the time. You know? It's there because it's there. We work for it.
Does she give
Of
you a
course,
hard
we're
time
grateful.
when you don't eat the food right away? It's like, oh, you don't like
Yeah,
my
she
food.
gets so she'll call me for dinner. Like today, she called me 3 times, right? And then she gets a little annoyed about it when she has to call me multiple times. But I don't know.
Of course, you feel bad because she did the cooking for you, right?
Well, see, we switch off with cooking though, so it doesn't really make me feel bad completely because she cooks and then I cook. We switch off here and there, you know. The only thing I
feel
don't
bad.
really
I feel bad
What?
100%. I feel bad 100% because I don't.
because you don't do anything.
So I'm obliged. I'm obligated to finish the food. I I do a little taste, and then I have a little more, and I have a little
No
more,
matter if it's good or bad.
and then there's Netflix, and now I'm eating and watching Netflix at the same time, and now the workout never happens.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
let's
We'll
do it.
see what happens. We haven't talked about anything we wanted to talk about, like in the bullet points.
Oh, hold on, we gotta put an end to this. So what happens if we're like tied up? What happens if we're both 100% and we
Then
do
that's better. There's no
who edit
downfall.
who edits?
We'll split it.
Or we
We'll
just
split the month.
half?
Yeah,
Uh,
March.
okay, fine.
I mean, we got 30. How long are we doing this for? Until the rest of February?
You're asking me how long we're gonna do the podcast for?
No, you ding dong. This whole
Oh,
competition.
I wanted to do like like for the whole year, for my app at least, for my challenge for myself at least.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to determine the whole February to determine the winner for the prize on March, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So every 30 days, every month.
well, no, we're not gonna do it every month for the rest of the year. That's a lot. Meaning,
Well, up to you then. Whatever.
yeah,
I'll just
we're,
make my report every week,
I'm gonna do it.
with or
But
without you.
we'll give the report every week. But at the end of the month, at the end of February, we'll decide who wins or not. What's your name?
Dada.
Your
Jojo.
your name is Jojo.
That's Noel. Can you say hi, Noel?
Hello.
Hello. Let's be Filipino and say Tito Noel.
Say hi,
Hey.
hi, Tito Noel.
Hi, Tito Ray.
Hello. I can see you have teeth. Your
Yeah,
teeth are growing.
it's growing. So this is my daughter, guys. She's my youngest. Does she look like that? No.
Jojo, did you say?
Aria Joe.
Yeah.
Arya Jo.
Yeah. We call her
Hello.
Jojo or Ari. Okay, so I'm
Hello.
done now, okay? I'll be there soon. Kiss, kiss. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
That's too cute, man.
My youngest daughter. So we named her Aria Joe. Arya for our favorite character in Game of Thrones.
Oh wow. Who would have thought that you'd have like little people running around your house, right? Like little people that you made.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I didn't think so.
Little people
Honest.
that came out of your wife.
Okay. All right.
No. I mean, I don't mean that in a. But
No, I don't know.
the whole fact that like us humans that this destroy the planet environmentally come up with
Or create.
more humans, more little people.
It's a scary thought, right? I mean, I'm sure you didn't realize or you'd think that you'd have your own kids running, or your own son for that matter, you know?
Yeah.
Did you always want a son?
Yeah, but not today. Not like I just didn't think that I was ready.
Right.
When you guys had kids, I mean, do you want to talk about that? We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
go extend and lose our we're gonna run off the rails again here. But
Who cares?
were you was it something that you were looking forward to, planning, and thought that you were ready for?
Oh, yeah. At least for me personally, I've always wanted a kid. And I've always wanted my first child to be a daughter. My oldest son and my middle daughter, they're my stepchildren. They're my wife's kids from her previous marriage, or not marriage, but whatever.
How did that feel?
I think we already discussed about that. I mean, it was not much of an issue for me.
Mm.
It was a pretty good transition, and I equate that to the fact that I guess, like I said, I've always wanted kids,
Mm.
and having her having kids when we started dating, it was still easy because I was ready, you know, mentally. That is
I wanted kids, but I don't think I was ready.
right
There
because
was
it's
a
not hard.
there was a
But sorry,
there was a time that I had a girlfriend that had a child, and I
right?
was like, wait, hold on a second, hold on a second,
it's
and
it wasn't easy though, you
I
know.
just knew I wasn't the right one for it. Just didn't work out. So
Right. Well, I, my wife and I just maybe after a year or two after we started dating,
can I just say
we
something? Somebody just walked in again. It became so distracting. Can we please stop with the food coming
Jesus,
in the
why are you
middle?
complaining? She's bringing you food.
We're working here. We're doing a podcast here. Please stop. Java rice, black beans, lempo, salad. How could you complain? Thank you.
Yeah, there goes the workout.
I think that's our cue to end the podcast already, end this episode because the food's going to get cold. Please, thank you. Sorry, man, we're all over the place here. But,
No, no.
I just want to clarify, though, with what I just said about having kids. No regrets and wouldn't change it for the world, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
But
But
if the
not
question,
everybody feels the same way.
right? But
Sad to say.
I just speak for myself that I just felt like I wasn't ready. But when it was there, I was like, whoa, I want
Well,
this.
yeah, it brings you that. There's a certain feeling that it brings for you. You know.
Yeah, but again, there was this question. It's like, I helped create that.
Yeah. Well, that was a question that lingered in my head for a long time because it took a long time for us to get pregnant. A long time. Um, how old am I now? 46. I'm gonna be 47. My daughter's 2. I had my daughter when I was what, 43 years old.
Mm,
Yeah, but it's not like we tried and boom, she's pregnant. No, we
mm.
tried for like 2 years.
Oh wow,
Two Ace, Beb.
thank you.
She went upstairs, but no, we tried for like 2 or 3 years, and it got to a point where I was losing I was losing faith in my ability to create things. You know.
You were shooting blanks.
Yeah, I started questioning like, I wonder if maybe that's why I never got anybody pregnant before.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, I started asking myself that.
Maybe
Is
you
that
were
a
working
reason?
out. You were working out too much.
Probably. But yeah, I got worried there for a long time. And then
Thank you.
that's distracting. Even I'm here and I'm distracted. That's the third time she's done that.
Every time, right?
Every time.
Oh,
No, what was I saying? Lost my train of thought again. Oh, so when she got pregnant. I thought it was a joke at first because I had almost lost all hope into having a kid of my own biologic. You know what I mean?
mm.
So it was a blessing.
Did you were you ever bothered, as I am, I guess, about the whole financial situation? About
Of course, that's the biggest hurdle. I mean, it's not cheap having a kid having a baby.
Exactly.
I don't even want to talk about what was paid just for that, like hospital wise. It was sabihin na lang natin nasa 7 digits in pesos.
Just imagine, bro, like little
It's insane.
people that you created running around in your house. I can also, I mean, living in the Philippines, I can see how it can be addicting. So there are a lot of help and
Yeah.
a lot of things going on there. A lot of things going on there. Was there anything else that on your notes or on your mind that you wanted to discuss before we wrap things up here? And as
So
my food is getting
as your
cold,
better half is again distracting and
let me
interrupting.
move the camera away here a little bit.
I saw her arm.
She's taking pictures of the food.
Oh God. For the page.
Yeah, that's how much she doesn't take what we're doing with this podcast seriously. She's not taking it seriously. She thinks that she could just walk in, waltz in here, and give me food anytime.
Right.
Like we're not doing anything serious. It's not like
I mean,
we're.
does she not know that you are doing something here and then she's gonna abruptly just walk in, hand you delicious food that she cooked and prepared?
Yeah, so
What an
bastos.
ass.
So
Yeah,
walang
bastos.
walang modo.
Walang galang sa nakakatanda.
Walang ga wala kang galang sa nakakatanda. Ikaw distracting ka, bad influence ka.
Bad
Trabaho.
influence. Sus Joseph.
Sos Mario Sep.
How old is she?
How old are you? 30. Anong pangalan mo ulit? Sometimes I forget her. Sometimes her food is so good I forget her name.
Yeah, okay. No, seriously, how old is she?
29, 30 this year. Just turned 29 October
What?
last year. What do you mean what?
Damn, dude. You're like a whole dozen older than her.
Age doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Child abuse daw.
Oh, God, that's just sad. That's just sad. You're the the 90-day fiance.
Oh, is that how it goes? Hold on.
Wala kang galang sa nakakatanda.
Wala ka daw galang sa nakakatanda.
Hindi ako payag dyan, ha?
But no, it's not that I'm the child abuser taking advantage of someone younger than me. It's the fact that my brain probably runs as if I'm 29 or 30. That's how my maturity level is right now.
That's how you want to let yourself believe because you're still trying to be young.
I'm not trying.
You are? Okay. Dude, you're almost half a century. Just like me.
Can we go back to working out and talk about this another day? Just like not ready for this kind of conversation right now.
Okay, all right.
Feeling guilty about it.
Now, there is one thing I want to talk about real quick. I know that you're trying to eat, your food's getting cold, but that's her fault for interrupting and bringing the food. Okay? So, I was listening to episode 9. That whole discussion about the passport bros and whatnot.
All right.
Are we being too careful when we're talking about certain topics to a point where we are not making our point properly or getting our point across properly? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I agree with you. There's two things that we have to mention about that. Yes, we have to tread lightly because number one, I feel like I'm not qualified to really even talk about it because I'm just shooting the shit and trying to sound smart because, pa English, spoken in dollars. But yeah, you're right though. To the detriment of. And I was thinking about this the whole week. I wanted to clarify my point about it. Can you imagine? It takes us 2 episodes to clarify our our thoughts on the topic.
You need to get straight to the point and stop dilly-dallying about it.
I agree with you with what you just said. That's my point.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Well, first, going back to what you said, it's not that we're qualified or not. I mean, everybody who's anybody can make or state or share their own opinions about things. What really makes somebody qualified in regards to something like that? Right?
True.
So don't say anything like we're not qualified or not, because I believe everybody is qualified.
So maybe it's not about talking about it or not. The whole problem with that situation then is that we
I
didn't
think
make,
we were too careful.
and the problem then therefore is that we didn't make a point, that we didn't
No.
clarify what our stands were.
Well, no. I think we actually made a point. I apologize. I take that back. We made a point, but we were so careful that it took forever to get that point across.
So do you want to make that point across again now, or what do you want to do?
No, I'm just saying that maybe it's affecting the way we're talking about things. Are we actually that nervous about what people might think, that we're treading water too much?
Should we delete that episode and not upload it?
It's too late. It's already up.
We can always delete it.
Yeah, no. I don't want to do that.
So
I
in
mean,
other words, you're saying that episode sucked. That episode was bad.
it was borderline dragging. It was repetitive in regards to what we were trying to say. I don't know if you saw the title that I wrote.
No, I haven't. I'm trying to
Why
avoid
am I
watching.
surprised? Huh?
I'm trying to avoid watching. I don't want to get too self-conscious about what we're doing.
So the title that I put was Noel's Got No Day Game. And under the description I put, what is with Noel's shirt? And Jason goes round and round about this passport bros. So, and that statement right there basically said the entire episode as itself, because I think we went around and beat around the bush too much.
So if you want to watch a train wreck, watch this. Or no. To clarify, if you want to see a train wreck happen in slow motion, watch this.
Yes. Yeah. That was about it, really. I mean, we got the point across, and the only problem was we went around it quite a number of times. So basically what I'm trying to say is maybe we were being too careful about wanting to offend people and whatnot, but maybe we don't have to. You know what I mean?
Now, before we get lost into asking you, before I ask you if we should be more careful, less careful, what should we do about it? Is that because we're Asian? Is that because we're too nice? Before we get to that conversation, I was wondering, like when we were talking about passport bros, for some reason or another, I brought up Jordan Peterson and LGBT, and
Yeah.
can I clarify myself about what I said about that? And I think I did. But I didn't like highlight or emphasize it.
You did, but you didn't really go to the point. I mean, your point was kind of convoluted, where it was kind of all over the place.
Do you want to help me clarify what I meant?
Go ahead.
No, do you want to help me clarify what I meant?
Yes, but I want you to go ahead first so that you can get your version first.
Right. I was kind of hoping I'd use your words to clarify my own point.
I know that's what you were trying to do.
I don't want. I'm just careful to. I just wanted to bring this up because I wanted to make sure that I didn't misquote Jordan Peterson about LGBT or anything like that. And
Right.
again, my comment was not about the LGBT community at all. And it was not to say that people are being encouraged to it. I think my point about it was that actually I thought about my point, but I kind of lost it. I don't remember what I was trying to say about it
Okay.
anymore. But I just remember I should have wrote it down when I thought about it a while ago. I just wrote down on my notes that I wanted to clarify about that comment. I did. I wrote it down. Don't wiggle your pen in front of me. I wrote it down, except that I didn't write it down completely.
Right.
Now reading
Right.
the notes, I don't remember why I wrote here clarify JP LGBT comment. If I don't remember now, maybe I'll clarify it on the next episode.
Okay.
But can you help me if you remember what I was trying to say? If you do dare say that you understood what I was trying to say, that it wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of completely forgot about it.
Ay, nako.
I'm not sure. There were so many points that crossed around that I'm not sure.
I feel like I just drew an X mark on my
Yeah.
forehead, bringing that up if I wasn't going to follow through with it.
And then somebody's going to staple notes in your forehead.
Either that or shoot me in the head.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I was trying to say, from my point, I don't think we need to be that too careful because I don't think we're saying anything wrong. Now, if it's, I don't like you having to state that we're not qualified.
Nah, I just say
You know what I
not
mean?
qualified because I don't know enough about it to make a comment. Just like
From
this,
what you hear, it is basically what it is. That's it.
right?
You know, it's just a matter of making an actual how you comment and how you feel about it or not. You know.
Anyway, if you're curious about this whole LGBT thing that I brought up about Jordan Peterson, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast recently, and I was washing the motorcycle while I was listening to him, and he made a comment, and then I thought I'd share it with you. And now, because I was washing the motorcycle while I was listening, I could barely remember what he was trying to say, but I just remember vaguely agreeing to what he was saying. But now that I'm trying to remember what it is that he was trying to say, I can only think of the soap and the water on my hand while I was washing the wheel of the motorcycle, which makes it so confusing because I don't remember what he was trying to say anymore.
Right.
But again, what I do remember agreeing with him about was that it wasn't about the community that he was making a comment on. It was the phenomenon. Oh, okay, I remember now what he was trying to say, what he was saying. That sometimes these mental not mental problems, but these things that's going on, like whether it's narcissism in the country or I guess not Black Lives Matter, but maybe ADHD or any mental health crisis.
Right.
Yeah, erase everything else that I said before that. So any mental crisis can become sort of like a generational phenomenon. I think is what he's saying. So it's not the LGBT that we were making a comment on, that Jordan Peterson or myself was commenting on. It's not about that community, but it was about how people might be like it becomes like a fad, not the community itself or not the situation itself, but again we were commenting on and I don't remember how this segued from Passport Bros, but how you're not really gay, straight, or lesbian or queer,
Like it's
but
all mental.
but you
Like
were sort of but like the way that it's structured is like you're sort of quote unquote like encouraged to be part of that community because because the community is there, and it was sort of convoluted in such a
So
way
it's
that
it's becoming like a popularity thing, is what you're trying to say.
no, that the person just gets into it because it was a trend. It wasn't something that he inherently came. That the desire to go with the same sex or to be queer was inherent. It was because of peers. It was like peer influence.
Trending, like you said, it's a trending matter that's happening on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and because
So
just because the child or the person said, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with my body," the medical practitioner or the surgeon or the doctor all of a sudden says, you have you thought about joining this community or being like this? Or I don't know if I'm even misunderstanding it. And this is like
yeah,
a
I don't.
perfect.
I don't think you're understanding that wrong, because I don't think that they're actually saying join that community. They're just trying to get that. They're trying to get the importance of that life noticed. If that makes sense,
This is
they're not
another.
saying.
This is the example of how we're not qualified to talk about this because I don't even get my head straight about it. I just wanted to correct my thoughts about what Jordan Peterson, what I say he said or what he might have said, and how I might have misunderstood it because I don't want to dip my
I
toes.
definitely think there's a misunderstanding there somewhere. You know.
Yeah. So, again, my apologies. It's not about the LGBT community or being queer or anything about that. It was just I think what I understood from Jordan Peterson was just this whole how it can be a phenomenon or how it can be a generational thing and necessarily be the not necessarily be the thing that's going on, but just a trend or a. I'm trying to dig myself out of this hole. Jason, can you help me out? Because
I don't think you put yourself, or I don't think you dug yourself into a hole. I think it's more like you're confused on what exactly you were trying to say about what Jordan Peterson said, if that makes sense. Um, your brain is running like in a way where you're trying to describe something, but at the same time not insult somebody.
there's black beans, Java rice, and liempo in front of me, and a spoon that's ready to go into my mouth, and it's so distracting and difficult to explain what I'm trying to say. I'm hungry and frustrated at myself that I can't explain what I was trying to say. So if we could, let's just
Let's just
erase
move on.
erase the whole thing. But again,
Yeah,
just my apologies. I just hope I didn't. Am I being too nice and going around
you
like what
are.
you were saying again? So
You
what's
you you're being too careful, because at the same time you want to be nice to everybody, which makes sense.
I,
But by doing that, so you're not necessarily getting your point across, because you have to understand not everybody is going to agree with what we're all saying,
I just
and we
don't.
we have to take that into strides.
All that I'm trying to say, I think, is that I don't mean any offense about the LGBT or Jordan Peterson or any kind of community like that.
You
I
did not offend anybody.
I just want to
You
eat
did
my
not.
liempo. Can you just give me a second?
Yeah.
So there. Again,
Anywho,
it was just the phenomenon that I think that I was agreeing with, not the comment about the community, which he didn't make any comment on.
right,
It
right.
was it was the whole phenomenon, whatever it might have been, that I can't explain, but it wasn't about the community that I was commenting on. Okay, moving on. Thank you.
Moving on. Um, hold on one sec. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Um, you know what? We've been all over the place this past hour and a half, or hour and 15 minutes, or whatever.
So what are we gonna do about it, boy?
I think we're gonna have to just cut it short there.
Okay, bye.
And then okay. See you next time. Um, 'cause we actually had like quite a number of things listed down that we should talk about, but we didn't even get to it. So
I got all my bullets down. What did you have in mind? I'm curious.
I didn't have much. We got one that I talked about. We talked about being careful about what we say, or are we being too careful? The second one was grade school reunion. My grade school reunion in the Philippines.
Oh, let's talk about that
Yeah,
next time.
yeah. Let's
Just
talk about that.
bring up the stuff that you weren't able to talk about and just use it as a teaser for the next episode then.
Okay. On the next episode, we're gonna talk about actually my Camp Krame Elementary School.
Hmm.
I guess batchmates is that what it's called, or classmates, whatever.
Yeah, batchmates.
Um, Apparently there's going to be a class reunion in July.
Here?
Yeah.
I'll attend for you.
Oh, that's a
Kid.
good idea,
I'm kidding.
right?
I'm kidding. Are you thinking of coming?
I don't know. I don't know. You have to
Jul-
understand. There's 5 people in my family. That's good. Tickets alone is gonna be like $5,000 or more.
Watch me go there with a laptop and then okay guys, here's Jason. He's online.
Well, actually, I was telling them it's either I'm gonna be there in person or I'm gonna be there virtually, one way or the other. It's not
Interesting.
a bad idea to send you there.
No, I'll go there with the laptop and the pocket Wi-Fi so
Whatever.
that they
And
could
like
be.
interview people,
It'll be so awkward for me though. It's like, hi
That
guys.
here's the best part. You don't know them. So there's nothing to be awkward about.
I'm just there to set up. I'm just a technical guy. I'll just be your assistant, setting up like Jason's booth,
Right.
a laptop on a table where you could wear a headset and you can chat with Jason if you want to.
Right, right. Ugh.
What else did you want to
Anyway,
bring up? What else did you want to talk about?
the other one that the article that I sent you was basically there's this Chinese man who
Oh,
sues this girl for $2.6 million or whatever
just a couple of days
because
ago, like 3 days
yeah,
ago.
she just wanted to be friends with him. Apparently, um, I guess she said no to the whole courting thing, and then it ruined his self-esteem and his what do you
Reputation.
call that, reputation.
Yeah.
Is that viable for a lawsuit nowadays? I don't even know.
I guess it
I
is
mean,
in Singapore. It is.
that's crazy. I mean, well, crazy rich Asians, man.
Rich people
Telling
problems. Yeah, that's what I
yeah,
was
rich
about to
people
say.
problems. But
And
those were the things that I was gonna talk about and whatnot.
I'd say that tantamount to me being on the motorcycle on Facebook trying to chat with you while I'm running at 20, 30 kilometers per hour. Maybe that's 10. How many is that in miles for you if you to understand? I mean, it's not fast, but it's not slow either
20
because of
miles per hour, maybe.
technology that we could actually speak to each other on the other side of the world on my vehicle. Point is, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should. Right. Just like this podcast.
But what's that's a sound bite, man. But yeah, that's the thing with I guess he's a rich Asian guy and he got turned down and now he's suing the girl
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, actually. And
and
the
now
girl's
he
rich too. Apparently, it's not like she's regular person, but I don't know.
and
Anyway,
now because he's doing that, now he's destroying his own reputation.
by doing that, and then he's opening the floodgates to possible people doing the exact same thing. What's the point?
He must have invested so much on this girl.
He probably spent like a pretty good penny taking her out on dates,
That's
happy
where
endings,
that's where he
whatever.
probably got the amount $2 something million because he spent $2 something million courting her.
Right, 2.6.
That's why I wanted to read the rest of the article because there must have been more to the details because since I only got to read like the headline and the sub headline and not really dig into it, it's hard to comment.
Yeah.
But now that we're discussing it, that's probably what happened. He's probably spent so much courting her and he wants to get the money back.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. You know. Anywho.
Let that sink in for the next week and
Yeah. We'll touch base in a couple of days or whatever.
and I'll look into this comment that I was trying to comment on a while ago that I couldn't get my. I'll probably end up writing it down to get
Yeah, you
my
need to.
thoughts straightened out before I get myself into a lawsuit or
You're
problem.
not going to get over a lawsuit for that. I mean, there's like a million people that say the same thing.
Yeah, but I want to make sure that I'm saying the same thing accurately.
Okay.
At least for
All right.
myself. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
mean,
thing that I'm worried about. Like the people getting mad at me, or like a whole community getting mad at me for something that I didn't even say properly.
Or say right or wrong for that matter.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that I just brought up the name of the community can already get me in trouble, is what I'm worried about.
Right.
So,
Yeah, we got nothing but respect for that community. We have both had phobias and stories that happened
no,
to us.
because what I
about
was
it,
worried about
but-
was to make it sound like as if I was saying that people were being forced to be part of that community, which is not what I was saying.
No, I don't think that's what you were trying to say. I honestly don't.
Okay, as long as we got that cleared out, I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that that's not what I was saying.
No, it's not.
I don't think that, biblically speaking, that, it's evil. I don't think it's evil to be part of that community or anything like that. Again, I think it was the phenomenon that I was trying to explain that Jordan Peterson was trying to explain, which he did so eloquently, and I could barely regurgitate what he was.
Well, look at it this way. We can open up that whole discussion
Can of
again
worms.
on
Yeah.
the next episode. Give you enough time to go backtrack on the episode so you can actually understand what you were talking about.
Thank you. And in the meantime, it's on. Tomorrow,
It's on.
I'm working out.
Hey,
Oh, well, walking the dog for 10 minutes.
start somewhere. You got to start small, right?
Yeah. As James Clear was saying, even just putting on the shoes, getting out there is already part of the habit. I'm trying to build the habit
Yeah.
back into my life.
Let's start slow. Let's not overhype it because never know.
So it's 10 minutes walking the dog for me. What is it for you?
I'm gonna go downstairs, do some weights, some running in the treadmill. I'm gonna go at it strong. I mean, I got it.
How long is your workout usually?
About an hour
Every day?
every day. 30 minutes to an hour.
Well, somebody's going to be editing next month's episode. One of us is going to be.
Well, the 30 minutes to an hour is actually calmed already. Well, before it used to be 2 hours.
Well, yeah, you're the one with the dad bod trophy on his desk.
That's
So-
right, baby.
I shouldn't be so
I
proud.
gotta get it back. I gotta deserve it.
So that's what's
So-
happening next episode. We're going to follow up on what we accomplished as far as working out and getting healthy is concerned again, and I'll try to formulate my thoughts and ideas about that comment. And anything else?
Is it a fitness challenge or
Right.
a fitness equation?
And about that guy suing that girl for
Yeah.
$2.6 million. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Another one in the till, and my name is Jason,
My name is Noel.
and we'll see you next time.
On the flip side.
Two guys, two worlds. This is the flip side. New episodes uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify every week on Wednesday and Saturday.